everyone. How are you? Guys, today is something crazy. Join in. I want every one of you to share this watch party and join in as much as you can because we have an amazing guest with me tonight. Okay. Hi, everyone who is there online. Share a watch party. Let people know that it's a crazy session today. And what is it? Like, we generally go live on Monday, but I was invited somewhere, so I'm doing my live on a Thursday. Isn't that cool? Switch off sudden plans is something nice, right? I like to surprise my audience. Hi guys, how are you? Who's all online? Just share a hi, send a message so that I come to know whoever is joining in. You know what, guys? People often tell me after my live is over that you are amazing, you are energetic, you are so powerful, you have a lot of fun while talking to people. But just wait and watch who is coming online. She is more crazy than me. She is more energetic than me, and she's like a power pack. She is. She's going to be blowing your heads away. We are going to talk upon a very beautiful topic as well. So even that is very interesting. A lot of my clients, a lot of females, a lot of even men tell me that there is no identity left after marriage. It's somewhere that we have lost ourselves. We do not find ourselves. When we look back, we really see the difference between that person and today's person. So the reality check is so much different in the head and in actuality that they actually end up feeling miserable about themselves, that why did they end up like this. But you know what, a beautiful thing is missing in their life is self-love, self-worth, self-value. And to talk about this beautiful topic, I am going to call a beautiful person herself. She is the youngest person who have been creating change in so many people's lives. She has touched, she has actually helped with so many beautiful transformations at the age of, I think, 19 or 21. We'll tell you her story, but you will have to wait for it. I will invite her in a couple of minutes, but before she comes online, I want you to do one thing, is to share this live through watch party, through any other medium you can recall of, with your friends, and tell them that this is topic itself is so beautiful and we are going to have fun throughout the session. So don't wait, guys. Keep on sharing and join in as soon as you possible. It's 9:03. We will wait till 9:05 till we call her. But before I call her, let me introduce myself to you guys. Hi, this is Ruchi Hirani, mother to this amazing daughter, wife to a superhuman, a lot foodie, a little crazy, but a strong believer, choreographer turned homemaker turned author, and now a couple clarity expert, creator and curator of happily ever after lifestyle. So basically, guys, my mission is to help millions of newlyweds out there to transform their marriage into a very beautiful bond, to so that they can overcome the negative emotions, they can handle conflicts in much better and efficient way. Hi, Shruti, and I can help people like Shruti spread a beautiful, beautiful life ahead, and I can help them design a happily ever after lifestyle. So thank you, Shruti, for joining me. You have been such a beautiful person throughout. I've got chance to meet you in person, and I love your energy. And thanks for joining on my live. You've been very, very regular. So welcome, Shruti. And now it's time to introduce my guest for tonight. She is none other than, I'll introduce her name later on, but I want more people to join in. Okay. So firstly, before welcoming her, welcome all the audience. Thanks for joining in. Trust me, we are going to add lots and lots of value to you in the next 45 minutes. Awesome, Shruti. Alrighty, so the person who's going to join me, she's an entrepreneur, TEDx speaker, coach, and a change maker. But I love you too, Shruti. I love you a lot because you've been amazing. I've met you. I know how cute you are. Over the past years, she's worked with some most incredible and successful, just simplest women across the globe, impacting hundreds and thousands of women. Now she travels across the world, making women believe in themselves through channels, seminars, and workshops. So, what Arzu is coming for is she going to tell us the importance of self worth, self love, and self value in relationship. See, for creating a beauty and healthy relationships, it's very, very important that you love yourself also. But there are certain things that I would want you to hear. So don't go anywhere. Hi, Pooja. Hi. And let me welcome the guest of honor. Hi, Arzu. How are you? Can you join in?
Hello,
Hello.
Ruchi.
How are
Nice to be
you?
here, man. This is so cool. You've been really kind with your introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here. Really looking forward to us having some crazy fun and adding some great value.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Arzu, for joining us. I'm sure my audience is going to have so much to know from you, because a lot of my audience are females and a lot of them have the same question. In fact, few of the bachelors who are thinking or in the process of marriage, they have this question about, what about me after marriage? What about my self identity? They have lots and lots of identity related questions. So I'm sure it's going to be an amazing session.
It is. I'm really looking forward to this.
So Shruti is saying hi, Arzu. Shruti, if you remember, is a
Hello, Shruti.
she is from CTF Foundation.
Is she? Hello, Shruti. Nice to see you. And
Yes, she
hello,
is.
everyone that's here. Nice to see you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Awesome, awesome. So let's start. I mean, Arzu, we have so many questions and we have so many viewers. So let's not waste our time and let's begin. What's it?
Let's get started.
Awesome,
Awesome.
awesome. Great. So before I begin with anything, I want to know that what, according to you, is the real meaning of self-love, self-value, and self-worth?
That's a very interesting question. I think all my life I had been searching for that answer because I don't feel you consciously realize there is something called as self-value, self-confidence, self-worth, but it's more of the lack that you kind of figure initially. At least with me, that's what happened. And with all the people that I've worked with so far, I think that's where it starts. It's the lack that makes you realize that there is something more that you're looking for. For example, while I was growing up, I know the insecurity was something that I noticed. The doubt was something that I noticed. The questions that used to keep coming to me regularly before I tried something was something that I noticed. So it's the lack that you realize much before you realize the self-worth. And
Wow.
if you ask me today what is self-worth, I feel I had something really interesting that I started with. It is called I'm Beautiful from Within. It started with a YouTube channel and then it went on and went on. And a lot of people used to ask me, why do you call it I'm Beautiful from Within? And I said, because I want women to realize that there is something inside you that is really beautiful. Anything exterior and not just physical appearance I'm talking about. I'm talking about, let's say, confidence, or let's say you're looking for appreciation, you're looking for recognition, you're looking for more money, you're looking for more success, you're looking for validation from your partner, from your family members, from your in-laws when you talk about after marriage, because
Yes.
that's also people look for. I kind of at some point felt like there is something inside you that's more beautiful, which is your strength, which is your courage, which is your ability to do something for someone else, which is your self-worth, which is your self-value, whatever you want to call it. So if I had to conclude what it means to me, it would be that self-worth is just the ability to feel at peace with yourself
Right.
and not expect anybody else to tell you how good you are and still know that you're enough. I feel that's what self-worth would
Wow.
be more about.
That's amazing. That's so beautifully said. I mean, the lack. I really appreciate that point, that when you feel the lack of something, you realize what's missing. Wow, nicely put,
I
Arzu.
know.
But what is your story like? How did you think of getting into creating your beautiful from within entire journey? How did you come up with the thought that I would be working around such beautiful topic? What is your story? How did you turn into and got motivated to help others?
I I think I could take days sharing this because it's been such an extensive journey now that I look back. But if I had to put it simply, I feel while I was growing up, I was a really insecure child. So I don't feel self-worth, whatever you want to name it, it's something that you're born with. I don't think you're born with it. I think you create it eventually, one step at a time. Because I was the most insecure child you could ever think of. I had so many fears while growing up. I used to always question myself. And then came a point where it went to a point where I had no answers. And I think I paid a price for it in a lot of different ways. Let's not get into that right now. But there came a point where I started looking around and I saw that it wasn't just me, but women from different ages, different backgrounds, different stages of their lives felt similar. But at the other hand, what's funny, Ruchi, is that I saw women, it's so surprising, that had gone through some things that me and you sitting here find it really difficult to even
Yes.
comprehend, but they
Yes.
had come out so much stronger. So my reason for starting this journey was I was looking for answers. I was looking for answers of what made that small percentage of population out there create something so magical,
Right.
while the larger percentage is sitting here and questioning themselves day in and day night, thinking, why am I not
Absolutely.
good enough, and why don't I do enough, why doesn't my husband love me enough, why am I not as pretty as her, why am I not strong as her, why can't I do something? So looking for answers between them is what started my journey. And then, like you just mentioned, I started something called I'm Beautiful from Within, for which I traveled across. I met some of the strongest women the world has ever seen, and I found
Wow.
answers. So when I found answers and it helped me change myself, I wanted to go ahead and share it with so many other people. And that's where my journey as a coach, as a speaker started, and the journey of impact began. So that's what this
Wow.
was about for me.
So, what was your age when you interviewed these women?
19. 19. I was 19 when I
Wow.
started.
Guys,
I
hear
was 19.
her. Listen to this girl. She was just 19. At that time, we were
Yeah.
thinking to bunk colleges. She was out there, interviewing such strong women. I mean, what a courage. And she is talking about insecurities. Think what beautiful transformation she has brought to herself before creating that mark on others. So amazing, amazing, Arzu. But you know what happens?
Thank you,
What you
Ruchi.
just mentioned that about insecurities. I think as a child, the insecurities are there. But when you get into marriage, when you marry, and especially when you become a mother, the insecurities hit so high because then you are all constantly in that quest of validation from your husband, right? So it's always there whether he love me for the way I am. I have lost shape, I have got stretch marks, I have got all that feelings of being a mother. So that hits a lot after motherhood, especially because they have a person to continuously validate the women.
Hmm.
So I want to ask you that if how do you see and define the difference between self love and ego? There's this thin line. How do you make out that thin line, what it is?
I feel what the way people look at self-love and the way I'm going to talk about self-love might be really different. So for me,
Okay.
self-love is definitely not thinking that, I am so great and I'm so amazing. Maybe that's not the kind of self-love that I'm talking about here. But let us go back to the first part of your question, which you spoke about marriage and then having children.
Yes.
So surprisingly, most women that I work with are married and have children. And one of
Wow.
the biggest reasons that they join the journey is, after a certain years of being a mother and dedicating their life, because women have the strength to dedicate themselves to something like
Absolutely.
nobody else does. They'll make their world revolve around their kids, their husband, their family,
Absolutely.
which to me takes a lot of courage. So I don't see it as a weakness. I rather look at it as a strength, because I feel only women have the power to give so much, which is
Absolutely.
something that I take as a strength. Because if it wasn't for my mom giving the years of her life that she gave to me, I don't think I'd be in front of you. So I feel it's amazing that women do that. Although sometimes what ends up happening as a reason of that is when your kids grow up to a certain age, you look back and then you question, what am I now without being a
Right.
mother? So who am I if I'm not a mother? Because that becomes such a huge part of your identity that when the kids grow up a little bit, you take a back seat and then you have these questions that make you feel like,
Yes. Yes.
who am I even here? And that's when self-love comes in, right? That's when people say that
Absolutely.
I want to fall in love with myself. But I feel the way I look at it is a little different, because the way I would look at this whole situation here is I would say that it it takes a different perspective maybe to look at yourself and see the power that you had to raise somebody. It
Right.
takes a lot to be somebody that can look at something and then say, you know what, I've created all of this, and that's what makes me valuable. So now if I decide to take a transition and I decide to go to a space where I want to create something else, it's okay. You gave a certain number of years into creating something, then you give certain number of years into creating something, then you give certain number of years into creating something. So what I always tell everybody that I work with is that you are a superwoman, you are a
Absolutely.
superhero, and you are Wonder Woman, and you just look at yourself like you're a superhero, right? And
Absolutely.
superheroes always create. Sometimes they create for themselves, but most of the times they are creating for others. And that to me is also self love. The ability to fall in love with your strength to contribute is
Wow.
also love, is also
Nicely.
worth. The reason. And I tell you this, at least from my perspective, that the reason my self-value changed is because I found something that I could do out there for someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be as a coach, as a speaker, as a trainer. It could be as a mother, as a friend, as a sister, as a human, as a
Right.
colleague, as an entrepreneur. In whatever sense, if you go out there creating and you see the value that you can add, I think there's no bigger amount of self-worth than that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you have such beautiful definition and perspective towards it. But saying that, when you were talking about the creation part, when you are aware about what you are creating and you're giving the years to it, while you shift that focus and you want something else in your life, is it, it comes somewhere about self-worth. So is it necessary, Arzu, that they should convey what they really want and need, or they should just, believe in themselves and go for it? Or is it very much important to communicate it as well with the family members or partner?
I have really not believed in the idea of, when they say just believe in yourself and do it. Because if that were true, none of us would have struggled the way we did with valuing ourselves. It's not so much of a struggle in reality as it is mentally, but it is, right, huge. So
Yes.
if it was so easy to read an Instagram quote or to hear me and you saying, go ahead, guys, believe in yourself, make it happen, would that really help people do it?
No, I don't.
I I don't think it's as simple as that, right? Because I
True.
only wish it could work that way magically, saying somebody do it and it would change. So I feel everything that you do in the process of making it happen is essential. So, for example, there's a recent client that I'm working with, and she has a very similar story like most women have. Mother, took a break. Before that, she was doing so much with her life, got married, now has a child, and now has taken a break from a couple of things. And she just, when she started her journey with me, she used to just tell me that, Arzu, I don't know, I want to find myself. I don't even know what I'm looking for, but I think there is something that is stopping me from going ahead. Over the few months in the lockdown, she ended up losing 6 kgs of weight for herself. She felt different about herself. She found a love for salad, and now in her colony, she's starting a small business for herself where she's going to help other women in her colony lose weight by providing a salad service. And she just,
Wow.
before we started this, she sent me a video saying that this is the business that I'm starting. She's from Pune. And I found it so amazing for her to be able to do that. Now her family, people in her life are definitely a part of her journey. Because imagine, somebody who dedicated years into building her family, is it ever going to be okay for her to not make them a part of her journey ahead? Maybe
Right.
now it strengthens
All
her
right.
journey even more, making them a part of it, right? So I
Right.
feel sometimes you just look at it a little differently than you do otherwise.
Right, absolutely. But when you speak of that, the Indian marriages, especially when you talk
Hmm.
about family, women, let's call from my experience. When I got into marriage, first I had to set my entire thought process in getting along with the in-laws, getting with their culture, getting with their set of expectations, and then I had to look up to my husband, what he needs, what he is demanding. Then I had to look up to the passion of this relationship, and then I got pregnant, and then I had to look for baby. So how do you prioritize? How Arzu do you prioritize your self time, your self passion, your self value with your partner's self value? Because there is this thin line. So how do you check on that? That this is something I will do, and this something you will do.
Okay, so you mean, are you defining roles here? Are you talking about defining roles here?
Roles,
Of
if values, if you value something, that you need certain things in your life, and you want your time, you want self time for self love, you want time to self explore your passion, your dreams, your desires, but then you also have to look up to your baby, your in-laws, your husband. So how do you prioritize things, and then you put ahead that even I need this, as a woman I need this.
okay, so let's look at it this way, right? I think there are two parts to this question. Number one,
Okay.
I think women that I have worked with have always told me this, that there is amount of guilt that comes into play. That
Absolutely, I would agree to that.
if I do this, am I going to give up on this? And if I do this, then am I going to give up on this? So I feel, how do I say this? I've never believed in the concept of this or that. I feel it could
Okay.
really be this, and then this, and then this, and then this. So look at it this way, right? So you do this, that you give up on yourself. because you want to do a lot for people around you. You're in a new marriage, you have
Yes.
in-laws, you have people to please, you have people to get approval from, you have people to keep happy, and then you want to keep the entire family happy, so you and your husband stay happy as a byproduct of that. So
Absolutely.
there are so many what do you say, there are so many different things that are involved in one place, that women then feel that, okay, you know what, if I don't give myself the space, it's okay, but I'm going to give this here because I don't want to go
Happens.
through the guilt.
Happens.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've met a lot of people like that. Forget talking about outside. I've seen it right in my family, with my cousins, with my own sister-in-law. I've seen it, I've felt it, and I've observed it. But here's
And
something that
the
I think
guilt
we have
is
to put
more when
across.
you are a mother. All the elders can be
100%.
kind of compromised, but when it comes to baby, it really takes a toll on your guilt level, and you feel so bad about yourself at times. I have done that. I have
I
felt for
completely
myself.
No, I completely agree with you when you say that. But tell me something. The only question that I would have is, I don't have the answer because every person would have a different answer. But if I would tell everyone going through that guilt, just ask yourself this question. Are you going to be able to do the kind of justice to your motherhood if you compromise on yourself? Because is that the kind of example that you'd want to set in front of your child? Because imagine, and we all know this, children learn so much more by observing than by what you tell them. So what kind of
Right.
example do you want to set in front of them? Do you want to tell them that, you know what, you have to give something to get something and life is always a compromise? Or do you want to teach them that when you put your heart into something, you'll end up finding million ways? Because I can tell you from my experience, Ruchi, I have seen so many mothers that have managed the journey of having kids and being a great mother and being a great human and doing justice to themselves at the same time. And in no way by this am I going to promote that, you know what, leave your kids at home and go ahead and save the world. Because if I didn't have my mother while growing up with me, I would have not learned so many things that I learned today in terms of building a character. So
Right.
I feel
Right.
it's also the kind of question that you need to ask yourself. What do I want my kids to learn from me while they observe me? Because they will learn so much from what they see.
Absolutely.
Like, I'll tell
Absolutely.
you about my mom, right? There was a point when my mother used to take care of my grandmother who was bedridden. She used to run an ice cream parlor because our family was going through financial crisis. She was handling a business and she was looking after my needs and my brother's needs at the same time. And I can tell you, Ruchi, that has taught me so much about what is possible for me to do as a person today. Because I cannot sit and give myself excuses because of the example that my mother had set for me while I was growing up. So maybe
Absolutely.
that's the question we'd have to ask ourselves, right?
Absolutely. And before we move ahead with two of the questions that audience have asked, welcome all the new viewers. Hi, Leena Thakkar. Hi, Shruti. Hi, Meena Thakkar. Hi, Gunvanti Raka. Thank you so much for joining in. And we are having a beautiful time. We are almost 20 minutes into the call and we didn't even realize that. So drop in any kind of questions you want to ask Arzu. We have another couple of minutes with her and we can grab the opportunity to talk to her about how important it is to have self value and the time for yourself when you are into relationship. And even men on the call, it's you are equally, you can equally demand your own time. Your self love is also considered. Now moving on to the question, but before that, Shruti is also agreeing to you that yes, I want to become a role model for my kids. I am a believer, a dreamer, so from now I won't hold guilt on my back. So she is agreeing to what you said,
Kudos to
Arzu.
you, Shruti. Kudos to you,
And
Shruti.
now, a question from Isha Agarwal. She is telling it's very difficult. Family approval is toughest part for many Indian females. I would agree on that. What do you want to say? Add to this, Arzu?
Again, when you say about approval, you look for approval when you're not sure about yourself, right? That's where the approval begins from, that you're looking for approval from people. I do understand the dynamics that come into play when you get married and you want to become a part of a new family. But see, here's the thing, right? I think, Ruchi, me and you have discussed this before, and we've learned a similar school of thought in that sense, is that taking ownership is the most important part. So here's
Absolutely.
something that I decided. So when my sister-in-law got married, let's look at it
Yes.
both the ways, right? When my
Yes.
sister-in-law got married, and she came to our house to live in, and she was married to my brother. It was difficult for her. Let me tell you from
Mm-hmm.
my perspective, it was difficult for me because I
Okay.
was supposed to suddenly accept a new member in the family that I didn't know of. I've lived a certain way, and now here comes another member who's suddenly living with us day in and day night. But here's the thing that you can do in a situation like that, right? If you ask yourself, and this is taking ownership, I'm not talking about submission, but I'm talking about taking ownership. So if every woman that got married, imagine she took a level of ownership where she said that, you know what, here's what I'm going to ask myself. What if my mission in life was to make this family the happiest that it's ever been? What can I do from my side? You can't go on changing people. I don't think that happens, right? So you're seeking for approval. You can't go on changing other people's mindset. But what if you
Absolutely.
ask yourself, let me do everything I can in my power to make this family the happiest it's ever been? And if
Hmm.
you went on that mission, imagine you're a superhero on a mission and you went on that mission, what all would you do to make that possible? Maybe that's a
Absolutely.
question that I'd ask in that case. And then I'd do whatever it takes.
Amazing, amazing. So before I move on to the question, we have a lot of comments and viewers on the watch party as well. So I would just like to take a minute and invite them as well. Hi Preeta, Shubham, Naren, Dipali, Shubha. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. And
Hello, Shubha
Preeta.
Dipali.
So yes, Preeta is saying it's been great watching your journey this past years, Arzu. She is complimenting. Dipali is
Preeta
telling,
Dheer, is it?
yes, Preeta, here it is.
Hello, Priya. Preeta, I mean, you've been so kind. I remember meeting you in Delhi years back. So you've really witnessed the journey, I know. Thank you so much for being so kind with your words.
Absolutely. Shubha is saying, killing it, Arzu. Great to see you.
Hello,
And
Shubha. Nice to
Dipali
see
is,
you.
yeah, absolutely. They actually, the watch party comments do not reflect on our screen, and that's the reason I have kept my phone also. Where Dipali is adding that, well said, Arzu, you just have to learn a good balancing act, and that is what it takes.
Agreed, Dipali. Dipali's had that herself. I feel she's been a great mother, done incredible things with her life while balancing it, as far as I know. So that's incredible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. With that note, let me move ahead with my next question. Talking of which, Arzu, we are talking about communication, maintaining balance. But how? Thank you so much, Manisha, Shruti. We'll get back to you guys once we complete with few questions. So yes, Arzu, my question to you was, how not to sound selfish while communicating your needs or showing the importance of your needs, because that happens a lot, especially when the male part comes, the counterpart comes. It is often said or shown in their gestures that women are being selfish or self-centered. So how do you kind of cover that thin line between selflessness and selfishness?
I feel, like I told you earlier, I feel for me, self-love has never been being so focused on your own needs as much as it has been about being aware of who you are as a person. So for
Absolutely.
example, if I am aware of who I am as a person and I've said it forward, here's the challenge that happens, right? Most of us, and here's where it comes to taking ownership, most of us have spent zero time on working on ourselves.
Absolutely.
We've had zero time on awareness. We've always been so out there focusing on things that are maybe not so relevant to ourselves compared to being focused on things that are so much more relevant to ourselves as a person. If I spend enough time working on myself, like today, I know when I get into a marriage, the person that I am with will know what's important to me from day one,
Absolutely.
because I have spent enough time working on myself and I'm quite aware of what's important to me right now, considering my work, my family, my need to go out there and make a difference. So, what I feel is whenever you come to a point where you say that my partner doesn't get what's important to me, I feel I'll ask you to probably step for a minute and ask, do you even know what's important to you or not? Because most of the things that we see on exterior are not even the things that we are looking for essentially. Like imagine
Absolutely.
going out there and saying that, you know what, you not giving me time is making me feel worthless. Him
Yes.
not giving you time is not making you feel worthless. Your
Absolutely.
lack of working on yourself is maybe what's making you feel worthless. So when
Wow.
you're being selfish or talking about self-love, I feel it is so much more beyond than that question. If you were working on yourself and you were enough aware of your needs, you never make it come out in a way that your partner would not feel threatened by you talking about your needs. Your partner would not feel that you're becoming selfish all of a sudden. In fact, your work on yourself would make him look at you with so much more difference, so much more light, because now you're aware of what's important to you and you're
Wow.
conveying it in such a different sense than what you would otherwise. So I feel the bottom line comes to asking yourself a question whether I'm ready to work on myself in a way that I can come across as a person that's not operating from insecurity, because
Yes.
selfishness does essentially come from insecurity. But
Absolutely.
I'm operating
Absolutely.
from a space of awareness. So am
Awareness.
I and my partner. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely amazing. So you have a very different idea, which I really, really love, and I would want to answer a few other questions as well. But before that, Shweta is my friend, and she is putting in a question, but it's something related to kids. So if you want to take this answer, you can. Otherwise, we'll move. Shweta, we have other parenting course as well. So the question is, my kiddo is very much emotional. Whenever he sees any poor people video or beggars begging, he starts crying and in no mood to talk to anyone. He is just 6 years old, and what shall I do to control his emotions and make him feel little better? Do you want to take up this, Arzu, or we'll keep it for the
I
next
would
time?
hundred no, I would 100% take this up because I have
Amazing,
been that
amazing.
child while growing up. I
Wow.
have been that child while growing up,
Please.
and I can tell you what, Shweta, I think you're absolutely blessed to have a child that has empathy for other people, that has understanding for other people, that feels compassionate towards pain and suffering that might be existing out there. If I were in your place, here's what I would personally do. I'd maybe take him out and contribute to other people's life. I'd take him out and I'd show him that he doesn't need to sit there and cry, but there is so much more that he can do about the situation. So a lot of times people feel powerless when they see something happening and they see that they can do nothing about it. Maybe once a while you could take him out there and contribute to other people's life with him. And that would make him feel so empowered that he can do so much more to make a difference to other people. Imagine you seeing something, people going through poverty, people going through difficulty, and then you feeling hurtful, but then a mother showing you that, you know what, you can go out there, become successful, and use your resources to make a difference in other people's life. I feel, Shweta, I'd definitely do that if I
And it
were
would
with
be
him
so
right now.
powerful. It would be so powerful because it is not being taught. The contribution comes from within. So the power and the beauty would get to
100%.
much, much more extent. I hope, Shweta, we have answered your question. If all the guys watching, please put in your questions. If there are any, we will definitely get them answered by Arzu. On that note, Arzu, we are talking much about the importance of these emotions in our life. But what if all these emotions are like omitted? What would the relationship really look like? If that one person is not focusing inwards and focusing outwards, what would the relationship be like?
Sorry, I didn't understand your question. Could you explain that a little
Yes,
more?
yes, definitely. So when we are talking about self importance of self value, self worth, and self love, you have given us the quite a good perspective about what importance these feelings have in a relationship, or at least for the person. But here with me are a few girls who are asking me that what if these things are omitted? What if we only focus our entire life serving other people's, looking for them, taking care of them, looking outwards rather than looking inwards? So if these feelings are omitted from your relationship, how would your life look like?
So it also depends on why you're omitting those feelings, right? I genuinely feel that the ability to take care comes from a space of self-worth. So imagine somebody feels that they are not valuable. Would they go out there and feel that they are capable of taking care of other people? I feel the
Absolutely
idea
not.
that you feel you're powerful enough to take care of other people shows huge amount of self-worth to you. I mean, what we've always been taught about self-love is that if you focus inward, that is self-love. If you focus outward, that is lack of self-worth. I am saying even focusing outwards is a huge amount of self-worth. The only idea is that maybe you've not realized that the same power that helps you take care of others can also help you take care of yourself. They say you can only give from something that already has something. So a glass
Absolutely.
that has something can pour something outside, right?
Absolutely.
Which is true. You have it in you, that's why you're able to give it outside. So maybe just realize that the same power that you use to take care of other people, you could also take the balance of using that same power for yourself. So
Absolutely. So I
that's
hope the person who have asked this question is there on the call with us and you have got it sorted. If you have additional question to this, please put in, and then we will have it too. Also, my entire concept of talking to experts is to basically empower a relationship. But one of my client
correct.
has a partner who is who has a typical ego, male ego in it. So this is a
Hmm.
very sensitive question that I'm going to ask you. How can a female practice self love and self worth when your partner is either narcissist, either sadist, or a typical Indian egoistic man? That's a little sensitive question. I'm sorry, I'm putting up to you.
Uh, okay. Maybe. Okay, I know what you're saying. I get the gist of what you're saying. I have had a lot of them around me while I was growing up. in my extended
Okay.
family. I have seen people
Okay.
like that. I have seen women in those relationships. I've worked with so many women who are in relationship like that. But what you're trying to tell me here is that my self-worth has to be dependent on my partner, which I feel it has to be independent of anybody in your life. Your self worth does not come from, it gets affected, it gets influenced. I'm not saying it
Yes.
doesn't, but if we let the environment dictate how we feel about ourselves, it's going to be a very difficult journey moving ahead. Because it's tough, man. People are the way they are, especially if you're talking about people in India. I'm going to say that traditionally women were really empowered here, but of course the same culture has also been abused by certain people for their advantage, that leads to suppression of a certain gender or a certain category of the society, which does happen, rightly said. But I'm going to say that if you again took ownership and you decided that your self-worth is not dependent on that one person in your life, then a lot would change for you. Because if I sit here and I talk about how to deal with your husband, it's not going to make a lot of sense, because you can't change him, can you?
No,
Essentially
absolutely
you
not.
can't. Maybe your behavior may also influence him the way his behavior is influencing you, but what you can take in control is you can take in control yourself. And then you
Absolutely.
can decide that, you know what, it's never too late to decide to work on myself. Shubha's here, right?
Yes.
Shubha's really young, so to say, and I met her in her 50s, when she decided one day that, you know what, I'm going to work on myself from today. No matter how difficult it's been, how easy it's been, no matter who my family is, no matter what they think, I'm going to step out at the age of 50 for the first time in my life by myself without the support of anyone. And I'm going to decide that I'm going to go out there and create something, because she
Yes.
had a community and a bunch of people that decided that they'll support her along the way. So maybe
Absolutely.
anyone out there can decide that they, can just, it's a moment of a decision, right? That you take,
Absolutely.
that irrespective of what's happened so far, I am here to decide how I'm going to change things for myself moving forward. So that's how I'd say you to go ahead and take it. Because I've seen that strength, man. I've seen people
Absolutely.
find strength being in the most difficult marriages, difficult situation. Look at Oprah Winfrey, for that matter,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Who can imagine what she's come from? And she's one
Yes.
of the wealthiest and the most influential people in the world today. People want her to run for president in United States.
Yes.
So if,
Absolutely.
we all have the same strength within us. So it's just a matter of finding it.
Right, right. You speak so beautifully and with so much, it just flows when you talk. It feels like you're so much powerful and empowered. I think your husband is going to be most luckiest person because you yourself are so much
I'll
sorted.
save what you said, Ruchi. I'll save what you said. And the moment I find him, I'll send him that. I'll tell him, look at this.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that because you yourself are aligned and sorted, and that is very much needed when a woman gets into relationship because then you don't mess around with your head. Speaking of which, Arzu, what is your ideal definition of perfect relationship, and what is that one thing you want from your man? Now we are
Okay,
coming
you
to
know what? This is the
your
first time.
relationship.
This is the first time I'm probably gonna say this. I feel it's the idea of having a perfect relationship that ruins relationships more than anything else. Because just like life, it's never going to be perfect. I feel the ability to stick through is more important than anything else. The best marriages that I've seen in my life are marriages that have gone through the biggest ups and downs that you could ever imagine. My parents, for that matter, they've been married for 28, 29 years now. And I have seen them go through shit, man. I have seen them go through things that we could find so difficult to comprehend, from financial troubles to emotional troubles to family to raising children together, having contradicting values of how to raise them. My mom was somebody who's very old school. So if you mess around, she'll give you one whack to set you straight. And my dad would say, you never touch kids. You can never slap them. You can never hit them because then they become stubborn. So I have seen them go through those kind of, contradiction of views, to going through some difficult financial times where they didn't know how to pass through. And I feel the strongest relationships are the ones that are imperfect, but two people just decide to stay together and make things work. So that kind of resilience and strength, I feel, is more empowering than anything else. So maybe what I would look for in a man that I'm planning to get married to is, I would see how resilient he is as a person and how much he can stick through, stand strong, and still make things happen.
Wow. So you do have an idea of happily ever after. If I ask you what you believe in the idea of happily ever after, would you
I
agree to
believe
it?
it in more than anything else in the world because I think the strongest power any woman can out there have is to believe in possibilities, to believe in more, to believe that more can happen, to believe that it can get better. So I do believe in happily ever after. And my definition of happily ever after would be, again, like I said, it's too simple, man. It's not as flowery as I imagined it would be, but it would just be being together, you know, having,
Right.
and not just being together because you have to, but being together because you want to have the desire and the want to be with
Yes.
each other, seeing your partner at their worst and still wanting to be with that person,
Absolutely.
and going through the most difficult times that you can imagine, going through the most amazing times that you can imagine, and deciding to be with each other. That's my, I've seen so many relationships, Ruchi, that you see today. I feel people have lost it. People have definitely gone ahead and lost the faith in a happily ever after. But I
Yes.
feel the happily ever after will be, it will just be two people having the desire to be with each other. That desire shouldn't go away, man. Just that desire. I definitely believe in a happily ever after.
Amazing,
I've
amazing.
seen
And
it. So
I
yeah.
hope you get into a relationship very, very soon. We are waiting to attend your marriage, the grand marriage that it would ever be.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. You know about my plans, right? So you're coming to it for sure.
absolutely. It was such amazing, yeah, talking to you. We didn't even realize we are 40 minutes already into the call, and
Same
I
here,
know
even
you,
I didn't realize.
and I know that you have other commitments post the call. So we would end the call in a couple of minutes. So guys, this is your
Sure.
only and final chance. If you have anything to ask, share, or maybe feedbacks, compliments, Arzu is all yours, and so am I. So please shoot in the comments and let us know how did you find it. Also, by the time they do it, Arzu, can you please share your handles so that my audience can follow you and they really inspired so they can ask
Wow,
you
I'm
questions.
promoting myself now on Ruchi's live. So yes, guys, I am promoting myself. So Instagram handle would be Arzu Arsha. So AARZOO Shah would be my Instagram handle, and Facebook handle is ArzuShah07. So come follow and grow and have
Yes,
fun.
and also I would want you to go and check out her YouTube channel, which has
Oh yeah,
amazing.
I will promote that.
Yeah, it's going to be. You can add, please add. Don't forget, I have seen it, so I know it's beautiful. Please go on.
Um, so yeah, I've put in years of effort into making this one channel happen, which is I'm Beautiful from Within. So you can Google Arzu Shah, you'd find it on YouTube. You can go subscribe, share, show love, and it's been absolutely fantastic doing this, Ruchi. Thank you so
Amazing. So
much.
before we have few compliments from Dipali, Gemini also. So I'll just read out quickly. Dipali, I don't know when did you add this because I'm just checking it now. Says that that's correct. Value yourself, feel self-worthy, confident in your mind and skin, and do all that things that gives you happiness and is fulfilling. So Dipali 100% agrees with you, and so does Gemini. She is also saying agree totally. Arzu, I do not know when they are did they add this because I missed. I
Love
was
you,
busy.
Gemini. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the compliments, and thank you so much for all the love. And
Amazing.
thank
And
you for
so
asking me to do this.
thank you so much, Arzu. You were really, I know you are very, very busy, and I'm so glad you could make out this 45 minutes for me, and I'm really thankful for that.
No, I'm. It was just a different space today, but I'm glad I did this. It's been a lot of fun, and thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So, guys, we end this episode right here, right now. Bye bye. Good night. Stay happy. Stay in love because don't forget, happily ever after does exist, guys. Bye,
Does
Arzu.
exist. I
Thank you
agree with
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Bye bye.
Ruchi, for inviting me to do this. Thank you, everyone, for watching and tuning in. And show a lot of love to Ruchi. And keep following her for some amazing content, great work, and a lot of support.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you
Thank you
soon. Bye bye. Take
so
care.
much. Bye bye.